The third trumpet is then blown in Revelation 8:10 through 11. And it says, "And the third angel sounded, and there fell a great star from heaven, burning as it were," again, as it were, "a lamp. And it fell upon the third part of the rivers and upon the fountains of waters. And the name of the star is called Wormwood. And the third part of the waters became wormwood. And many men died of the waters because they were made bitter." And so if the second trumpet is an asteroid, and it doesn't have to be, it could be something supernatural, I mean, that we just don't know yet. That's also a possibility. But if the second trumpet is an asteroid, then the third comet is likely a comet, or the third trumpet is likely a comet. And comets have long tails and can look like stars. And so the description of this, this star, burning as it were a lamp, it's consistent with a comet, with its luminous tail burning as a lamp. It's consistent with that imagery. And so the comet hits the rivers. And so both the salt waters of the seas and the fresh waters of the rivers and the natural springs are contaminated. Right? Again, this is affecting a third of all the rivers, including a third of our natural springs and drinking water. And so even water, or clean drinking water, or the planet's drinking water, is going to be polluted, contaminated by this third star. And it says that this third trumpet, and it says the waters become as wormwood. And wormwood is a bitter herb, otherwise known in modern times as absinthe. And wormwood also has a compound that can be hallucinogenic in large amounts. But the main point here, and so it's like a poison, it's bitter, it's poisonous, but the main point here is that it is extremely bitter and poisonous for consumption, and that's what the rivers become. Jeremiah the prophet, the Bible says, drank wormwood. After the fall of destruction and the destruction of Jerusalem, when the Israelites were taken into captivity by Babylon. In Jeremiah 9:15, God told Jeremiah concerning the judgment of his people, "Therefore thus saith the Lord of hosts, the God of Israel, Behold, I will feed them, even this people, with wormwood, and give them water of gall to drink." And so even that judgment, is a parallel. It's a foreshadow of the final judgments here in the book of Revelation, what God was going to do to his own people, give them wormwood to drink. The irony here is that Jeremiah himself drinks wormwood after the destruction of Israel. In the book of Lamentations 3:15, it says, "He hath filled me with bitterness, he hath made me drunken with wormwood." And so God does to Jeremiah, even his own prophet, what he promised to do as a judgment to the nation of Israel. Jeremiah represented the nation of Israel. And so even God's people at times will be affected by those judgments. This is why God is going to ultimately wait to rapture us out before destroying the entire planet. And so wormwood represented the severe bitterness of judgment. And so wormwood symbolizes the bitterness and suffering of the third trumpet, which the third trumpet brings upon all of humanity. Now, some of us also conjectured that the reason the rivers turn bitter is because it's going to affect our nuclear energy plants and all the, we have so many, nuclear facilities right next to the rivers because it helps to cool those reactors, and by the seas as well. They're all next to bodies of water. And so if an asteroid hits, along the coasts or in the rivers, it could have certain meltdowns, and that could affect the rivers and the drinking water as well. Now that's just conjecture, but it is a possibility. It could also simply be a comet, which it's really is what it sounds like.